Hey folks, this is the legislative recap for the week. So the primary things I want to tell you is that passed 3 bills under my name this week. One is to allow peace officers, police officers, and law enforcement to come and use the Capitol grounds for their memorial. These are for the fallen police officers that have died in the line of duty over the past year. We want to memorialize them, and we want them to be able to use the nation's capital. Of course, to be able to do that, you have to have approval, and it was my bill that gave them approval. That's number one. Number two, the FASTA Reform Act, which makes it easier to sell unused federal property. There's a lot of federal property that's out there, believe it or not really being used, or certainly not being used to capacity. Allows the federal, or makes it easier for the federal government to dispose of that property, so we won't have to continue to pay for property that we don't need. And then the Use It Act, which says that if the government agency is not using at least 60% of the building, and we just did a study, the Government Accountability Office to be exact did a study that found that 17 of 24 agencies headquartered in Washington, D.C. were less than 25% utilization, and some as low as 9% utilization. The Use It Act says that the federal government, the agency, has to use at least 60% of their building's capacity, or they have to repurpose it, share space with somebody else, or just divest us of it, because we're paying for the majority of space that we don't use. And that passed as well. So that's 3 bills that were passed under my name this week. And then finally, I want to talk to you about the TikTok bill. Let me be clear. China's a problem. China's spying on Americans. We all know that. But this vehicle was very concerning to me. The language was very broad, just like the Patriot Act that was passed after 9/11 with good intentions and then turned on the American people. The language was very broad in this, and I was concerned, and I am concerned, that this will be turned on the American people. And quite honestly, I don't think that, I think there are better ways to inform the American people that TikTok is actually an instrument or an agent of the Communist Party of China. But I think that the American people should be able to make those choices. I don't think the federal government should be a babysitter, and I think there are better ways of doing this. For instance, I have long had and advocated through a bill to label the Communist Party of China as a transnational criminal organization. And if we did that, that would allow the Attorney General of the United States to prosecute the Chinese Communist Party and their agents, including agents in America, conducting espionage on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party against America. So we got to get serious. There's a better way to do this instead of imposing or potentially imposing on Americans' freedoms. So I ended up voting no on this bill because of its imperfections, and I think we can do better. So that's the wrap up for the week, and we'll see you next week with the update.